This is a setup demonstration for the Aspire Tigon AIO kit. Inside the box, in addition to the device itself, beneath the foam tray in which the device will be resting, you'll find a warranty card from the manufacturer, an instruction manual that includes picture representations of all of the steps of setup for the device, and beneath that is a box which will contain a USB Type-C cable. This device utilizes the Type-C charging cable. However, we do recommend using a 1 amp output wall block for the best overall longevity of the device when charging your device. And 2 coils, one of which is a 0.4 ohm standard round wire style coil. It is the same type of coil as the higher output of the 2 options that came with the original Tigon kit from Aspire, and one of the new 0.7 ohm mesh style coils. The mesh coils have blue seals on the outside, and the 0.4 ohm coils have black seals. Let's take a closer look at the device itself. At the top here, we have the cartridge that is refillable, and you replace the coils in this, unlike some pod systems like the Aspire AVP, where when the coil goes bad, you simply throw away the entire pod. In this case, you can remove and replace the coil section. And it is also different from the original Tigon kit in that it does utilize the high heat resistant plastic cartridge in lieu of a glass tank section. Beneath that, you'll find your airflow adjustment slider. This is currently set to the lowest. You can tell from the little graphic right above it, this triangle with the wide end over here and the point over here. So this is the lowest possible airflow. And to make it less restrictive, you can slide this slider on over all the way up here to the least restrictive draw possible, or you can find wherever you like it in the middle to suit your preferences. Beneath that, we have the fire button itself. To turn the device on and off, you'll give this fire button 5 clicks. And the light around the button will blink to indicate that it is turned from the off to on position, and when it has turned from on to off. When the device is on and you press and hold the button to activate your coil, you'll notice that the light will shine around the button while you're holding it down. That indicates that it is attempting to heat the coil if there's a coil attached. The color that light shines is an indicator of the remaining charge left on your current battery charge. If it is green, such as this, you still have better than a 2/3 charge remaining. Once it turns blue, however, that means you've dropped below a 2/3 charge. And then when it turns red, that means you've dropped below a 1/3 charge, and it's probably time to charge it soon. Speaking of charging the device, on the side face here, you have the Type-C port for charging your device. To remove the cartridge and gain access to the coil and the fill port, you'd grasp the cartridge itself and turn it clockwise, and then lift up to pull away. The top of the device here in the very center has the contact, which will make contact with your coil and be able to pass the energy through to heat it. And then it has this interesting cutout shape that is the locking mechanism for the little clips on the bottom of the pod here. In the very center, you have the area where you will install your coil. It is a press and fit, plug-and-play style coil. And then just on this side, you have your silicone stopper for your fill port, which has a little flap that does go up so that you can easily grasp it, pull it out, and move it aside to expose your fill port. You would simply insert the nozzle of your bottle of liquid right in there and squeeze to fill. The cartridge is translucent, so you can watch the liquid level go up as you fill it. Go ahead and close that again by simply tucking that plug back into place. To reinstall your cartridge, you're going to want to take these little clips on the bottom of the cartridge and line them up with the sides, the wider portion of this cutout on the top of the device, like so. You'll notice that it's a little bit of an askew angle from the top down. And then we'll simply rotate it counterclockwise to get it to snap back into position. So again, to remove the cartridge, you will twist clockwise and lift to remove, and to replace it, line the clips back up and twist counterclockwise to secure. Now, as far as installing your first coil or any coil thereafter, you have a couple of methods you can use to make your coil ready to use. You can either manually prime it by applying liquid to the exposed cotton wicking ports on the outsides of the coil until you get to the point where they will no longer soak in any more liquid and there is a nice glossy sheen of liquid on the outside to indicate that it is fully saturated, and then insert. Or you can simply take your coil straight out of the package, if you have a few minutes to wait, and install it without pre-priming it. Just presses right into place like so. Then fill your cartridge and wait for about 5 minutes or so for it to manually saturate itself, whichever is your preference. Once you've done that and filled your cartridge, it's a simple matter of, once again, lining those clips back up with the wider section of the device and giving it a counterclockwise turn. And then you're ready to go, unless you need to wait for your coil to prime. That's about everything you need to know for setting up the Tigon AIO kit from Aspire. Happy vaping!